Tonight, a story you'll only see on 12 News about the polygamist FLDS church and those who they controlled for years in northern Arizona.
Team 12's Chase Golightly traveled to Colorado City, Arizona, and Hildale, Utah, to speak with both city leaders about their infamous past and how they are creating change for the future. Chase?
Creeping Mark, years ago, these two towns seemed trapped in time by tradition of the FLDS church. But new leadership in Short Creek Valley wants to change that perception. Short Creek Valley, home to Colorado City, Arizona, and Hildale, Utah, surrounded by beautiful mountains and sweeping valleys, have the same problems as any other in the Southwest.
Water is always an issue.
That's one of the big things we're working on, the affordable housing.
But Mayors Danya Jessup and Howard Ream also have to deal with their history.
You know, Colorado City has had a lot of bad press throughout the years.
A place where the polygamous FLDS church dominated for decades, with self-proclaimed prophet Warren Jeffs at the helm.
It's always been such a curiosity. Don't go out there. They're weird. They're polygamists.
Those outside the religion, not welcome here. But so much has changed since then.
The community is kind of going through a transformation, and I wanted to be a part of what the future looked like.
We're very forward focused.
For Mayor Jessup, she was a product of the FLDS.
I was born and raised in Hildale. Grew up with 2 moms and a dad and 26 siblings.
Jessup seeing the tyrannical reign of Warren Jeffs firsthand.
He controlled our homes. He could tell us, you don't live there anymore. Somebody else does. The police force that had been here had been led by Warren Jeffs and been obedient to Warren Jeffs.
Jessup left the church and started her own family. Wanting to create change from within, she ran for mayor in 2017 and won, becoming the first woman mayor in Hildale, creating backlash from those who didn't want change.
When I took office, the staff walked out and the boards walked out, stating that they could not serve under a woman or for an apostate.
For her, it was an opportunity.
And so that worked out well. I was able to replace people as needed and fill the seats on the boards from people that were in the community.
Members of the FLDS still live here, but the voters show they want change.
It's really about diversity. It's about inclusivity. You know, we want to include everybody.
And you can see it throughout the town. The first brewery opened in 2017, right around the time the Department of Justice overhauled the police force.
The police department was part of the problem. Now the police department has become part of the solution.
Some of the changes you can't actually see, but they make a big difference for the families living in these homes. Homes they now own instead of the church. And the church itself, where Jeffs would preach to thousands of FLDS members, a place where families were broken apart and suffered abuse.
And it is being completely taken apart.
To become a new community center. And these changes are bringing families back home.
I wanted people that had been kicked out by Warren, been driven away, to feel like they could come home now.
There's still much to accomplish.
There's still a great mistrust of government.
Jessup says it's going to take time, but because of what these towns went through, the path forward is clear.
It'll always be a part of our history. It's what made us. It created me. It made me be the strong, independent woman I am, because I will never be under that again.
Changing the mindset of Short Creek to welcome anyone. Now, I also asked Jessup about Samuel Bateman, the new self-proclaimed prophet of the FLDS church, who was arrested in his Colorado City compound for crimes against children. She said before his arrest, people in town knew what he was up to and reported him to authorities. She believes those reports helped lead to Bateman's eventual downfall.
And Chase, for so long, these two communities just seem trapped in time. Is the FLDS still a problem in those cities?
Well, again, I asked Mayor Jessup about that, and she said no. And the reason why, it all comes down to their homes, to where they live. She said for decades, the FLDS owned all the land, all the homes, could control where people could live, or if they had to be forced out for other families to move in. She said that alone, that they each own their own homes, is enough to keep the FLDS because they have no leverage over those families. So she says even with self-proclaimed prophets like Sam Bateman rising to power within the FLDS, the fact that they own their own homes is really a big step of keeping them out.
All right. Fascinating reporting. Chase, thanks.